Hi, guys. We're still in the car.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Sisters Show. So, do you want to intro this? Because I'm having issues.
Sure.
Okay. Take it away, Athena.
So this, I think, will be a very spicy little topic for some of you all
Literally.
listening to this. But I'm sure any of you guys that have been following Jackie for a while have, if you've been on like her Instagram, whatever, have seen that she was a part of a network marketing business for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we've briefly kind of touched on things in previous episodes about the rut she was in and friendship situations and all of that. But
Dun,
I
dun,
think
dun.
that there was a lot of lessons learned.
Yes.
And I think looking back, a super hot take that you may have that a lot of people listening to this may be confused about or not really get. And that hot take is... Truth be told.
The hot take that I have, controversial or not, it's my story, is that when you only have a network marketing business alone as an entrepreneur, you really aren't an entrepreneur and you actually don't own your business. And I know that me saying that out loud is going to piss off a lot of people that I respect greatly.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, we're going to break this up a little bit and we're going to do a little 2-part series because I want everyone to understand my point of view, my perspective, and I really don't give a shit whose feathers I ruffle. That's on you. Hear what I have to say and please learn from me. That is the main.
And I think that the reason why you guys should take this seriously is because I think that you 2 years ago hearing that would have ruffled your feathers.
It would have pissed me off so much. I would have unfollowed myself.
And I think that that's why this is so important and why when you were like, I really, it's on my heart to talk about this, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I think that in a way it will kind of heal yourself and getting it out and talking about it openly. And I think it has taken a lot for someone. And if you guys know Jackie, like if you follow her, you know she's an all or nothing person. I mean, she's a Scorpio baby. Like she is a all in or all out person. There's no gray area. There's no middle. Like it's I'm a die hard or I'm gonna kill you.
Private jets.
Oh my gosh, it's not a private jet. It's a fighter jet.
Oh, that's even
like
cooler.
the sideways ones.
Oh. I had family that did that on my mom's
That's
side.
really cool.
I know, really cool.
And Top Gun vibes.
Literally. Yanni's vibes. Another one. Don't you guys just love these shows, these shit shows that we do in the car?
And so I brought that up because I think that it's not, everything that you're saying. I think it's just shocking. Like you 2 years ago would have been shocked to hear you
I'm
talk
so
about
glad
it.
you brought that up because I would have unfollowed myself and canceled myself if I heard this. But guys, that's growth.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in this evolving and growing and personal development and just being a better human every day and every year, it's self-awareness. And I felt convicted of telling my story about this. And so the disclaimer I'll put out before I get into it is, if you feel triggered by anything I say, know that I'm coming from a place of love. And also I'm telling my story, but mostly I want you to take a really hard look at your life and your priorities. And usually when we feel the most triggered, it's an area that we need to work on. And so as someone that I know network marketing inside out, and it has changed my life in a lot of ways, good and bad, I'm just going to get into it. So Luke is 6. When he was an infant, I always had a semi-big social media presence because I homeschooled the boys and people were just always interested in our life because I didn't look Amish. And so I started building and blogging as a mom little by little. She was ride or die with me, brand repping. We would get outfits for James. It started with James, who's 10, and we would set him up in the pink house and take pictures. She would help me get the content. I mean, she's my ride or die forever, but it started like that. Well, when I had Lukey Bear, I had my tubes taken out. I'm giving you the Spark Note version because I could go all day. But basically, I had hypothyroidism. And I've always been crunchy, and all y'all know where I stand with pharma. But, pretty much. But with my hypothyroidism, I ordered from a company because I did all my little crunchy research, and they had a few supplements, and it healed my thyroid. That, celery juice, and yeah. So basically what happened was, and I'm not name dropping any specific names, so fill in the blanks.
Read between the lines.
Read between my fucking lines. So basically what happened, I was so excited that this natural product healed me. And it was
a supplement?
It was a supplement, and it was, I don't want to say what it is because then they'll know what I'm talking about, but like only new people won't know what I'm talking about. So that's fine. Just Google me or something. So I go on my Instagram and I'm on fire with my 10,000 followers. Like, guys, I had this and I did this and it worked.
Yeah.
So then what happens, because I was already having this platform, is people are like, do you have a link? And I was like, no. Do you even know the story, how it started?
Yeah.
So moral of the story, by accident, I started a network marketing business because I was like, oh shit, I do have a link. Let me give you the link. And this is like when Luke is like, guys, 2 months old. Like, I don't have fucking time for a side hustle. Sean, if you're listening, provided the most amazing life for our family. I didn't work outside the home for all of my 20s. Not once. He paid every bill. He paid every organic grocery shop. Like, he was my end all be all, wife the fuck up over here. Okay. So I didn't need this. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to pay my bills. But it was a beautiful way that little by little, by giving out this link, I started building money. The check went from $500 to $1,000. And Athena, as someone that has to ask my husband, and I mean that with all due respect, for can I go get my nails done? Having my own income that was mine, because I've always been an entrepreneur. There's nothing about me, even when I was barefoot and pregnant. Like, I always had this creative thing that's like, I'm going to be a photographer. I'm going to blog. Like, I that's just who I am. And I feel like you're the same way. And so having that money that I was like, I could go buy whatever the frick I wanted was like so empowering and life-changing. And I know this is like first world problems to say, but like, we did not need this income at all. Well, fast forward to, like you said, I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. I started looking at the comp plan and how to make the most money, literally breastfeeding and homeschooling 4 boys. And once I figured that out, I was pretty much unstoppable. In 18 months, I shot to like more than the top 1%. Like, I always see these girls being like, I'm the top 1%. Like, homie, like, I was on every radar, executives from the company, winning all the trips. And my income went from like 500. The highest check I ever got from this was $15,000. And that was also because you're able to build in other places. And that was just my check. Okay?
Yeah.
So I was a girl boss. Whatever the fuck that means. I had high cortisol.
Yeah.
Like, I was neglecting my children, neglecting my health, neglecting my marriage. But I was so good at it. Not the neglecting part. But like, I mean, I guess I was pretty good at that. But yeah, so
why don't you kind of touch on to what your days looks like? What exactly was expected of you?
Yeah.
What exactly did you have to contribute? Because I mean, that's a huge, to go from making $500 a month to $15,000 a month in the matter of
literally under a year. What
like,
other profession can you have that happen?
There's really not many.
OnlyFans.
So I think, like, obviously with that, there's a sacrifice that has to be made.
Of
like,
course.
Things don't just come, and something has to be given. So why don't you kind of touch on, like, which you just said, obviously with your family, your marriage, a lot of things maybe went on the back burner for a period of time. What did your life look like? What did you have to contribute to the business, to other people, in order to get to that point?
Yeah, so when people say, like, I built my network marketing business in pockets of my day, they're lying to you. It's bullshit. I think only corporate women who leave a corporate situation, or people that leave, like, I was a nurse or I was a teacher, they can say it's pockets of my day or time, because they're comparing it to 9 hours, 10 hours in a cubicle or at a hospital. First thing. Second thing is, I want to tell you that it's 24/7. 24/7. And I was blessed enough to be able to do it online, because because I am a go-getter and I am, like what you said, all in. I was not only building like crazy online, I was also having in-person events, because I was like, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to whatever. So 24/7, not pockets of your day. You need to answer clients. You need to, or whatever you want to call them, customers. You need to set up their carts. You need to make sure they know. Then you need to do product education. And if you don't have an upline that you can rely on that, which by the way, it's not on your upline to build your business. And because I am who I am, I wanted to make my own group and my own thing like a dumbass. And again, all the learning, I hold so much space for you, Jackie, 4 years ago. I hold space for her. I love her. I could cry right now thinking about if I could just see that bitch and walk into what, because I used to plan retreats for my team, giveaways for my fucking team, $500 this, $1,000 that, because that's how you keep the momentum of your team growing.
Yeah.
So the first 6 months of my business, I was taking the money I was making, and because I didn't need it, I was dropping it right back in. And so that's another reason why I grew so fast. But as far as like day to day, it was breastfeeding, answering someone. It was, at one point I was leading 3 2-hour Zoom calls a week for the big team, because this is during COVID and no one could meet up, whatever. Morale. I'll say, you know, one of the amazing things about this is I have a PhD in people, and naturally from our father I had that, but like network marketing, it just made it, forget about it. I was a therapist. I knew color personalities. I knew, okay, this is what makes this person tick. This is how I can motivate her. And so with all the shade I'm going to throw from the best place about this, I want you guys listening, and my sister already knows this, every single thing that happens in your life, you learn from it and you use your skills and perfect them for the next thing. So don't stay stuck and think that you aren't capable of doing what you've watched me do. If you're listening to this and you're like, I really respect that she did whatever. I have my own coaching brand now, okay? But yeah, it was a lot of coddling. It was a lot of so much leadership. And
yeah, I was going to say also, you're almost thrown into this position of you're a business owner or the CEO of your brand or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about product inventory or
which is great,
shipping and doing all this stuff. But then you're thrown basically a corporate level employee situation where you're having to train hundreds of people.
Yep.
All the time on repeat, like they're able
Facts.
to contact you, ask you questions. You have to literally, it's like training all these employees.
Which they're not technically your employees, because this is the whole network marketing thing, is you can outrank your enroller at any time, which I did.
Yeah.
But, and again, I don't care about that. Like that's not the thing I want to focus on this. It's 100% what you said.
Yeah.
They're not your employees, but you need to take them under your wing and teach them what you...
Right. And the better they do, the better you do. So
right.
it's like...
Which is a beautiful model, and I agree with that part of it. Okay, I do. I think that the corporate America bullshit is you have the guy above you and then you work for that. And that's what really attracted me to this.
Yeah.
I am an entrepreneur through and through. And I truly believed for the 4 years. And if you followed me for 10 years, because I've been around that long on Instagram, and you've watched this evolution, I still wholeheartedly meant what I said when I was like, I'm my own boss, and this is what because it was true. Like I was building this huge income with a baby on my breast. Like what other way can you do it? And so I meant all that then. But listen, guys, if you haven't seen this change, because I used to ride for network marketing and I would fight.
Yeah.
And I would try to get her to do it with me. And I would get my family members to do it with me. And yes, the income is absolutely insane. It's true. But I made tens of millions of dollars for this company. And of course I was making $15,000 to $20,000 a month because I was making them $8 million that year in sales.
Do you feel like in a way looking back, do you feel like you got something different than what you signed up for? Like, do you feel like all of this is disclosed to people when they sign up?
No, it's not disclosed. The other thing I couldn't stand about it is like, because you're not your own boss, is you have to follow policies and procedures of the company.
Yeah.
And you need to listen to their rules and the FDA and what people can say. I mean, I know that's the world you live in. You need to stay legal. Trust me. My mentor's a top-notch lawyer, but I hated that. The thing I love about it is you can be you and make what CEOs and suits make, but at the same time
with boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was times where people were like, you need to take people being from the company. You can't say that. You have to take that post down. You can't raise your leaders up to say that. You know, that kind of shit. There was red flags for sure. There were yellow flags. There were red flags.
Yeah.
And the green flag was the fucking check.
Right. I was going to say, I'm sure with money like that, you're willing to gloss over all those other things that in a normal situation you might be like, I'm not putting up with this, but you're like, you know what, it's worth it. whatever, until it got to the point where maybe it's not so worth it anymore because you're realizing that I am not in control of this. And going back to how you opened this, where you're really not your own boss. If someone can take away your paycheck, if someone can tell you what you can and can't do, that's a really scary place to be.
So yeah, when I first started this, it was I can't. When I first started my network marketing business, it was how blessed am I that it wasn't something that, you know, my kids were fed because of. But, you know, there's so many people, and then it was me, where this is how they eat.
Yeah.
And going back to the through and through entrepreneur thing, I really did mean I really did mean what I said when I was raising up leaders and said, like, be your own boss. Like, I genuinely, can you vouch for me that I really believed in this model?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean,
I'm not a phony, guys. Like,
no. And that's why I think this story is so important for a lot of women to hear, because that's why I opened it with the fact of we wanted to tell this story of how invested Jackie was into it, because I think it's easy for someone that's always been anti that business structure to come on and be like, this is predatory or whatever claims they say, and you're like, okay. I think to hear it from someone that has been through it and actually lived that life and was so invested,
ride or die for network marketing,
and you know, you invested your time, your own money, all of these things into it, like you truly believed in it, and I think that it let you down. And I think that it's sad because unfortunately or fortunately, maybe some people are still going to stand by it and say it's the best thing to ever happen. But unfortunately for you, you had to go through something honestly traumatizing and almost like a betrayal in a sort that I'm sure you felt when you realized, like, oh shit, I made $5 or $8 million for this company, and they have the ability just like that to take it right out of my hands, and I have nothing to
show for
do
it
or say about it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's being your own boss.
It's legal, and it's part of what I signed up for. And maybe, you know, not to say maybe if you had known you wouldn't have done it, because I think you still would have done it.
I would have done it.
But I think that you weren't aware of that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes people have to go through things
1000%
to learn that. And I think that's why you want to talk about this, because telling people and trying to make women understand, like, have different buckets, have different avenues and streams that are coming in, because to put all your eggs in one basket, especially later to find out it's not even your own damn basket.
Yeah, you don't even own your basket. You don't even own the eggs in the basket.
You don't.
You're just holding it.
And I think you're trying to maybe save people from that, because it can be a really, I mean, I think your situation was very extreme.
So extreme.
Unfortunately, as the seat 1A to the shit show. Unfortunately, like, the way the timing worked out, that you moved 6 months later, you realized, oh.
No, it was more than that. Less than that. Yeah. I moved in December and it started literally in January. So
when was the first check withheld? Summer?
Around that time. But it was almost a 9-month process of being, like, raped and pillaged and abused by forget about it. But so I grow through these ranks. I genuinely love the products, love the people I'm working with, doing it from home. 4 years into it, I mean, I saw the vision and I'm like, I'm going to the top of this company. I'm going to adopt all the babies. I'm going to retire my husband. I'm going to not have 1 ounce of debt. And I'm still going to do all that, but I'm not doing it on the back of a network marketing company. But so Sean and I relied, when we moved to the Keys, solely on my income to eat, to do all the things. And I was making a substantial amount of money. I also, thank God, at the same time, and this is all God, by the way, it wasn't because, like, someone told me to do this, I started building another platform and business, which was my merch. And I learned so much about e-commerce and sales and all this. And the only reason why I was able to do merch was because I worked with so many brands and did so much photography. And that's what I want you to take away from this is like nothing's in vain. You have to have the right mindset and the right outlook on things and just always be learning and always be teachable. And so this is not me talking from a victim standpoint. I'm a fucking warrior, and this is coming from me really learning my PhD in fucking business over here. So anyway, we move down to the Keys. We get down here. I'm still ride or die for my wellness business, and it's still paying me great. And you know, I will say it's the kind of thing like when people say residual, it pays you when you're not working, but like if you don't work it eventually will go away. That's one thing that people claim, you know, build this and it'll be your retirement, but like you can't be 65 and expect your team to know what to do to fuel your multi-million-dollar lifestyle if you're not pouring back into it.
I also think another important thing to bring up in this conversation is, besides the paycheck and the product and the trips and all that, I think there's a huge thing that people don't realize when they sign up, and that is the energy and soul sucking that is going to be needed from you to make that kind of money. Like, think of one person. Sorry guys, just my spam calls. Think of one person, coaching one person, and how much time and energy and frequency sucked out of you that you have to give. Like, I don't think people realize, especially the fact that a lot of these people are mothers. Like, a lot of these women are mothers. Like,
it's so true.
The fact that it is expected of you to not only, you know, raise your kids and be there emotionally and physically for your kids.
A lot of them were homeschooling.
But the fact that it was actually, what I don't want to say targeted, but I guess targeted is a way you could put it, to mothers that are home a lot. And like, that is a lot of energy that if you want to be making these $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 paychecks a month, that is a lot of energy that you have to pour into other women that are not your kids, your family, even your friends necessarily. And that is phone calls. And I remember literally being in the house before you moved here. Like, we would be mid getting ready for dinner. Her, I don't know what to call, like, they're not partners, they're just, I guess, other people you're working with. Your team would call, and it's like, you drop everything to pick up this phone call and figure out what this person can't solve. You have to be a problem solver now and do what, like, so it is no time off. It is
that's why I said 24/7.
Exhausting.
That's why I said 24/7. And even these women that glamorize it and make it look like they got it all figured out, they're still lying to you. Because I mean, and look, I'm not saying, I to this day still believe in the products that I sold, and I do think it's wise to have multiple, like you said, buckets and streams of income. So I'm not saying, because you even said that if I had the opportunity I would do it again, I would. So I'm not saying don't sign up with a network marketing business. I'm saying that you're not actually an entrepreneur if you only have a network marketing business. So let me say it one more time for the haters in the back. If you are a girl boss and you share one link to one company, because by the way, don't forget that you can't share multiple network marketing links. That's not allowed. So they control you there too. But if you have one link and you're ride or die for this one company, and you're not building your own brand, maybe doing a little bit of affiliate work, maybe getting certifications in other areas, starting your own coaching thing, you are not truly your own boss. You don't own your time. You might be comparing it to your corporate era or your teaching job and so thankful for the $10,000 check, but you are not your own boss, because at any moment, any fucking moment, they can pull the rug out from underneath you. They being the company that you signed up with. And you can say, oh, my company would never do that. My company would never this. My company would never that. I can't tell you, I talk to you all the time off camera about how many women that I respect so much that have been with these companies, and I'm not dropping any names, so make your own fucking assumptions. And all of a sudden they're like, we're changing our pay scale and we are going to go to affiliate marketing. And even though you've been supporting your family for 12 years and making us millions and millions of dollars, you're not getting a paycheck anymore. That happened recently to 2 companies and 2 women I know in real life in the last year. So how the fuck can you tell me that's you're your own boss? Can someone tap in right now? Can some hater there will be hate come for us? We don't care. Goes right over our head. And can you be like, no? Because this, by the way, that was me 2 years ago. I would be like, oh, my company wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Bet your ass they will. They're going to keep themselves legal. I was just a vessel. Like they're literally, the thing that really fucking chaps my ass and gets me spicy is I built my platform. I built the credibility.
I think as a third party here, I think that you feel used. I think that
abusive boyfriend.
I think that you feel that your time was abused.
I wasn't forced into it though. Let's play a devil's advocate. Like no one was making me do this.
No one was making you do it, but I think that coming out of it and realizing that you can actually build something for yourself and have all of the same pros that you had,
make more money
and keep that same like level of income without all of the negatives that came with it, I think you're kind of, I don't want to say resentful necessarily, but you're kind of like, wait, why didn't I realize that in that time? But I think that the thing for me looking in on the outside that makes me feel the most frustrated is,
tell them,
these women aren't your employees, right? No one works for anyone, but you're feeding all of this time and energy into them. But at the end of the day, at any moment, they could be like, I'm not doing this.
You.
Right.
I don't like you.
Right.
I'm jealous of you.
And I think that's where I'm kind of like,
I hate this company. Yeah, there's no, I don't, and then the thing that I'll see and I hard eye roll and still love them, still follow them. They might be muted, but I still follow them. And this is, I'm not even talking about my company, it could be cross-line shit going on, is people acting like, well, I'm in consumable products. So you're thinking of like toothpaste or tampons, which I don't even know, is there an MLM for tampons? But I don't want to name drop or whatever, so I'm just giving you examples. Yes, you are, and people will buy, and I do believe that the future of all marketing in general, social media and affiliate marketing, and that's great. But when it comes to your specific network marketing niche, you're not the first one, babe. And yeah, there's ones that have been around for 50 plus years, and I get that. But at any, like, don't think that you're going to just set it and forget it. Like, you have to work at this, and at any time it could be taken away from you. And you might, now we'll do it. We'll play devil's advocate as we end this episode, is you might be saying, well, that would never happen. My team would never do that. My girls are this. My company is this. Whatever you're telling your story to yourself right now. And I'm going to say to you, as someone that never thought her girls would do this or never thought her company would do this, it's fucking bullshit. When you have a link, you are making that company rich. You're getting a good income. I'm not negating that, but you aren't safe. You don't own your own fucking business. I'm the business. I am the business. I am the company. The reason why I had so much success, Real Raising Cubs, is 10 years ago, I started sharing online, getting made fun of by my in-laws and everyone that knew me because I had 2 followers. And what the fuck is she doing making a YouTube video? But I loved it. And so basically what they're doing, all of them, is same with affiliate marketing, but at least they don't own you. They don't fucking own you. They can't pull your check out from under you at any moment. Like, that's the thing with affiliate marketing, is I don't sign anything. I don't, like, I throw out a link and
you're not worried about what other people are doing
I
either.
don't give a shit. I don't have a team.
Right.
I don't have any of that, because that's the thing, is if I'm going to pour, like you said, my energy into women, I'm coaching them, and it's my coaching business. And that is one of the things we'll talk about on the next episode, because it's going to be a 2-part series, but I wanted to kind of give you guys the background before you burn me at the stake for saying you're not your own boss if you have a network marketing business. And I want to keep saying it so that you all get what I'm saying here. But at any moment, they can take that all away from you. And it's on my back. It's on my street cred, my saying, oh my gosh, this is the best business model, this, that, the other thing. Just rewind it. Let's shoot facts. Yes, there was 2 companies this last year that they restructured their pay, and now these women have balls. They got nothing. What do they do if they didn't build and have multiple buckets? And what mom who's homeschooling, breastfeeding, has the time and wherewithal to build multiple buckets when she's giving her soul to her team? Like, I can't. I will never go on my Instagram and say, start a business, babe, with me, boss, bitch, babe, mompreneur, and you're your own boss if it's only network marketing, because that is complete and utter bullshit. And so we'll leave you with this. I moved to the Keys, and we had no other way to pay our bills but my network marketing business. And because of false ass allegations against me, they had to open up an investigation. Again, this is a very extreme example, because you're thinking, I'm sure that would never happen if fucking will. Watch, because jealousy and the evil eye is real, and that shit is real, and people come for you when they see you growing and outgrowing them and all that. But allegations were made.
I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
What I want to say also really quickly is about what I was saying before about them not technically being your employees, is that I feel that it would almost be easier if it was a boss and employees. The fact that you guys are all equal, I think that is where...
It's impossible to lead.
I think that, right. I think that is where the jealousy and the fact that it's all women or mostly women starts to slowly breed.
That's what gives network marketing a bad rap, is the fact that at any moment, at any time, someone could literally look at you and just be like, you're my leader. Well, I don't want to be led by you anymore. I want to do this. And they could basically... that screws you up and your whole structure. So I think... or they go to another network marketing, which happens all the time, and they take your whole team with them.
Yeah. And I think that's where it gets super dicey.
This is not entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's not...
And the fact that someone else's decision to do that
of you
could affect your business,
your livelihood, your family.
That's where it gets dicey, because
Agree.
you have no control over that.
Yeah.
So
that parting message for you guys, if you've gotten this far, and I'm going to close this out and we will continue this on her beautiful white couch in Miami next week, is that we move, we get here, and like I said, at any moment they can change their pay structure, and or because you are a representation of the company and the network marketing company that you sign up with, you need to follow whatever their basis of policies are. They can hold your pay. And that happened to me. And it happened to so many women that I know, where I was like, now what the fuck what? I moved. I live in $1 million villa in the Keys. Milk is $20. I have 4 sons and a husband that's relying on me. And my 4 years of neglecting everything that I chose to do this, and building this kick-ass team of boss bitches. I fucking hate when I hear that shit. I had no check. Now, fun fact and fast forwarding, which I'll tell you the rest of what I have to say next week, is everything was false that was brought up against me, and I got my check. But there was months that I didn't have it. And they're allowed to do that because you work for them. It's not like when I have a client and I can fire my client and be like, I'm not working with you anymore. Or I have an assistant, I could be like, you know what, this isn't working. They had to go through their own due diligence, which I'm thankful that they did the right thing, and of course found me out to be, it was all bullshit. But it was hard. And you, 1A in first class, watching your sister go through this, it was
first class, feet up, champagne in hand.
It was the worst experience of my life.
I think it's genuine torture. I think it's genuine.
How much, I'm not a regretful person, but looking at Luke, and when we moved, he was over 4 years old, and I'm like, how many things I literally would get, like you said, on a FaceTime call with a member or a teammate, and I would because I saw the big picture, like the freedom in the future, and I neglected that on my own. No one had a gun to my head. And then a moment, and you might be thinking, my network marketing babes out there, like, again, this couldn't happen to me, not my company, not my team. Fuck around and find out, because I said the same shit 2 years ago. I said the same shit 2 years ago.
And I also think the stronger of a leader you are, the more secure of a person and of a businesswoman that you are, I think the more susceptible you are for something like that to happen to you, because I think people get intimidated by that and are willing to take advantage where they can and use you where they can, and then when you're no longer useful to them, they will dispose of you, maybe in a psychotic way or maybe not in a psychotic way, but either way 100% will affect your check, your business, your livelihood. And I think it's insane, honestly, that some people will gaslight this entire story into it would never happen to me. I mean, I think we all would have said that before it happened, and
of course
you say it's not going to happen to you until it does, and
they're
then
gaslighting themselves and they're going to get fucked in the end. And I hope someone is listening to this and I'm not saying back away from the business. I'm not even saying fuck your friends and your team. I'm saying learn from my mistakes, learn from me, and understand true entrepreneurship is owning your time. It's not working 24/7, and it's building something that no one can take away from you except for God. Because that's the only motherfucking person that is allowed to take shit from me. It's not going to be my team, and it's not going to be the company. Okay. So, you know, the second half of this, I have more to say, and I mean this with love and also hate. No, I'm kidding. But it was the hardest thing. And just like opening this, like when you say, like, with all the shade I'm throwing, I would do it over because I'm not
a learning experience, especially in business.
The woman I am today would not have happened if all this didn't go down. The money I'm making today, as you got to watch firsthand, and I thank God for this experience, and I thank God for everything I learned. Like I said, I have a PhD in people, in sales, in business. That's what it feels like.